Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Welcome to Learn English with Pathan. I am uploading this video after a long time, and I was a bit busy. There was a kind of sickness, so that's why it took a long time. Well, actually, this particular video I'm uploading it for my community members, especially the groups where I'm added. There are 5 groups by the name of Faina, Voice Zone, International English, and different other groups, English Talks, where I have been added by my student Bilal. And there are also other different people by the name of Sher Afzal, by the name of Mr. Smile, and by the name of Aina from Indonesia. And there is one of my sister from Afghanistan, Arifa Danish, I think. Well, I have promised to the community members, to the group members, that I will upload a video that what are those particular tips to understand and to learn English easily. Well, when I just share my story, when I was at university, I had no idea, or I had no such kind of information, or I'll say language information or knowledge about English language. And I was going to quit university, but our teacher came and he gave us a lecture, and that lecture completely just changed my life. So when he came to the class and he just wrote 3 words, and he said, I'm going to give you tips which are going to be beneficial for you, not just for learning English, it will be beneficial for you for all of your life. So he just wrote the words on the board, and I will just add these words in editing. He just wrote the word quest, zest, then quest, then thirst, and then love. When he mentioned the first 2 words, zest and quest, and he asked about from us that, do you know the meaning of them? And we said no. But when he wrote the word thirst, we said, yeah, thirst is an easy word. And then love. So he said, anything you want in your life, regardless of, regardless of any kind of particular thing which you need in your life. I will say, like, if it's about money, if it's about power, if it's about you want to take a degree or you want to get a profession, whatever, love is the most important thing. If you love anything, for example, I'm talking about particularly about the English language. So if you love English language, this love should be here from heart. And our spiritual teacher used to give us an example that this mouth and heart, it has a very short distance, but to cover this distance, sometimes it takes ages. Sometimes people die and they are not able to finish this distance actually. But what I want to say, if you learn English, if you love English from your heart, it's not difficult for you to get that thing. If it's in the shape of language, if it's in the shape of, like, if you want to become a doctor or engineer, but the love should be here from your heart. So if you love English language from your heart, you cannot. It's not impossible. It is possible. It's easy, but the love should be from heart. That is the first point. Second point which he wrote on the board, that was, I'm just pointed here, he wrote the word boldness. The boldness was not a new term in those days. I'm talking about back in 2005. So we say, what is boldness? Then he said, no hesitation, not to be shy. When it comes to speaking English language or learning English language, not just language, even education, hesitation, I will make a quote. I will say, hesitation is the enemy of education. So if you are interested in learning English, you don't have to be shy, you don't have to be hesitant, you have to be bold. You have to give exposure to yourself. Right or wrong, forget about that. When you are learning language, it's a part of learning that you make mistakes. If you are driving, if you are learning driving, often you will make mistakes. If you are learning a kind of running a machine, you will make mistakes. So language, it's when it comes to learning language of the other people, or L2, we as confer it to when it comes to grammar, that is the most difficult thing. The most difficult thing in this world is that to learn someone other's language. And English language learning, I will say, it's not difficult these days, because you are having YouTube, you are having different kinds of channels, you are having ebooks, and there are lots of teachers are there. I am one of the weakest, I will consider myself, but there are good teachers who will teach you. and they can teach you in your different language. Like for example, if I talk about the community group where I am added, there are people from Pakistan, there are people from Afghanistan, there are people from India, there are people from Indonesia, Malaysia, African countries, Arab countries. So as I said, this is particularly for those people who are there in the group where I have been added by some of my students or some of my acquaintances. So you don't have to be hesitant. If you make mistakes, grammatical or in pronunciation or in accent, don't worry about that. You don't have to care about that. The third point, as I'll mention here, motivation. And when it comes to motivation, what is motivation? Motivation means the drive which pushes you, which gives you a nudge that, yes, of course, you can do that. And motivation, that's of two types. One is intrinsic motivation, one is extrinsic motivation. If I talk about extrinsic motivation, you can have your friends, you can have your books, you can have your teachers, you can have your curriculum, these kind of things. Or even I will say right now these days, YouTube or other kind of channels. So it will give you a nudge, it will give you a push to understand or to know these things. But the most important motivation which I consider is your intrinsic motivation. That you just motivate yourself by yourself. And when you are having intrinsic motivation, it means you are able and you are near to achieve your goal. So you have to just convince yourself by yourself that, yeah, if that other person can speak, if that other person can do this thing. I'll not just talk about language, as I said, not just learning English. If someone becomes doctor, you can just motivate yourself. I'm talking about the FSC students. I have lots of FSC college students. So if you are motivated, if you say that other person, he has become a doctor or engineer, why should I not become a doctor or engineer? So again, if I particularize it towards English, if other persons can learn English, why you cannot learn English? Why you cannot speak English? It's not difficult. It's not impossible. And I used to write word to my students like impossible with different I am possible. So impossible means I am possible. One more thing to tell you, when it comes to English language, when it comes to English speaking, it's a kind of funny as well that when I was in the UAE, when I was in Dubai, if you are able to speak English language fluently, if you are good with your accent, British or American, whatever, even if it's general accent, but understandable for Britishers and for Americans, you are considered to be a kind of genius. It's funny, but anyway, I will say that English is an international language. It is important. Why? Because the people who speak it are important. They are important in technology. They are important in economy. They are having. I will not talk about culture because our culture, Pashtun culture or Pakistani culture or Asian culture, that's more richer or the richest one, or Arabic culture, not culturally, but they have the technology. This is the language of our syllabus or syllabi, which we study in our schools and colleges. This is the language of computer. So that can be the reason, and it is good, it is important to learn English language. This is the only reason. Otherwise, English language, it's a skill. No doubt, it's a skill. Language is a skill. And I have tried my hands not just in English. I am trilingual by birth. That I speak, in our home we speak Urdu, Pashto and Chetrali. And then I tried my hand in English, especially at university level. Then when I was in Dubai, Arabic, and with that Russian, Tagalog or Philippines or French or Spanish or Bengali, Tamil, Malayalam. So I have tried my level best to get those skills, because language is a skill. It's not being a genius or not genius, that if you can speak English, you are a genius, and if you're not, you cannot. Well, here it is being considered in Asian countries like Pakistan and India. If you are good in speaking English, they consider you as a kind of genius. But anyway, language, anyways, at the end, it is a skill. So remember my points. One thing, that you have to love the language by your heart. You have to be not hesitant. You have to be bold. You have to be motivated, especially inside. And one more thing, if I add, you have to be focused on your learning your goals, and you have to give it time. I hope the discussion, the video is getting longer. I don't want to take your time, but I hope these 3 tips it will give you help in not just learning something but any decision, any kind of decision in your life. uh, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned to Learn English with Pathan. Inshallah, very soon I will be in another video. And one more thing, for the community members, for the group especially, and for my viewers on the YouTube as well, I am intending to start a particular grammar classes and to teach you English step by step when it comes to grammar, sentence structures, and tenses and other things. So I hope inshallah very soon I will start that, and I hope inshallah you will get benefit that. It's a request for you, those who all watch the video, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Share it with your friends and family. And I hope to see you soon inshallah with another video. So for right now, Basit Nasser signing off. Thank you so much.